Hop. Bon. Du coup, il est là-bas, et ben on va partir d'ici. Je suis curieux de voir ce que c'est un murg. Enfin, un simurg. Maintenant, je vais me planter à cause de cette image, je vais juste dire un murg.
Come on.
Allez, let's go.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
Oula. Ah, mais c'est un gros griffon, ça va. Un gros griffon à moitié noir, et je le trouve magnifique. Il est vraiment beau, ce griffon.
There it is. The House Rossfield.
Eh ouais, maintenant je peux faire ça, contrairement aux autres fois. Et... Oh, les esquives parfaites quand elles font de la glace, c'est tellement génial. Ah, ça c'est nouveau. Je pensais réussir à le placer avant tout.
Thanks, boy.
Non. Gros poulet vaincu. L'ambre écarlate.
Is this...
Parfait. Mamie, est-ce qu'on peut avoir nos bracelets maintenant? S'il te plaît. On a fait le boulot. Et avec ça, plus ou moins fini les airs. Ouais, il reste juste une toute petite quête ici. Et ensuite, on pourra aller dans une autre zone.
Thank the founder you were safe. The griffin is slain then?
And the Heartstone claimed.
Oh, les ambres.
Yes. This radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion, and the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms, only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone, and so my pursuit continued. Until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered. And that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
Elle était sympa cette quête.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for...
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Should we pay Father a
J'ai raté un début de la phrase à
I
cause de
think
mon
we should.
bouton.
I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it. For it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
D'accord, on va se recueillir auprès de notre père.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Et du coup, attends que ça se mette à jour. Ah, la tombe qui est pas du tout dans le secteur. Et ben on fera ça après. D'abord ici, le marché de Poclade. Et on va regarder notre bracelet du coup, ce qu'il vaut. Forte chance que ce soit... Non mais, je me suis demandé si pour sa protection, ils n'avaient pas déplacé la tombe. C'est surtout pour ça que je me suis demandé. Ça aurait pu être une possibilité aussi, hein. Hey, franchement, ça joue pas de beaucoup, hein. Sacré boost de PV, hein. C'est quoi pour le principe, je vais le mettre.
You won't find a finer array this side of the strait.
Waouh, 18 PV.
May Gilbert smile upon you.
Do you see that too?
Oh, je pense que c'est difficile de pas le voir, vieux. Hein.
Papa? What is it? Oh, please. Just make it stop. I'm scared.
Ouais, ça fait classe quand même. Eh, on peut dire ce qu'on veut d'Ultima, hein, mais il a quand même un sens de l'esthétisme pour ses cristaux et ses trucs, hein. Franchement, respect. Ah oui, c'est vrai, la rencontre diplomatique. Diplomatique.
Can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your... Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
You're right. It won't.
Men,
Finish him.
Ça devait être diplomatique. Hein. C'est eux qui ont décidé de rendre ça un peu moins. Oh, il y a un coffre ici. Je crois que je le récupère. Voilà, on n'en parle plus comme ça. Oh, des hentai.
a little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us. Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course. My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dhalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. We will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen.
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either, and I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this.
I shall.
Qui est-ce qui va envoyer?
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round.
Eh.
I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at...
Je reviens à la bouffe! La bouffe a été collectée. Voilà. Bon, le désert, normalement, c'est bon maintenant. Pour le moment, s'il me dit pas de revenir. On va passer par là pour voir si je peux crafter des trucs. Ah oui, le compte rendu de la quête de l'autre. Let's go.
You should have... Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Welcome back. Trip wasn't too much of a pain in the arse, I hope. Truth be told, it was me who suggested roping you in to help with the trial. But from what I hear, things didn't go quite as planned.
No. They most certainly did not. Ember lost his nerve in the face of a beast of prey, but he didn't lose heart. He pressed on, and he achieved his aim. And is that not what we ask of our scouts?
Indeed it is. Thank you for your honest appraisal, Sid. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle-hardened warrior on hand to pluck him from the jaws of peril. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back, Ember is little more than a liability.
Wait, Sergeant. Ember still has much to learn, it's true. And this time he was found wanting. But I'd say he's due a second chance, nonetheless. After all, he did do as you asked.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made to hold a blade, and any mind can conquer its fears. But a scout's nose is different. You've either got one, or you ain't. And by sniffing out that log, young Ember here has shown he has a conch and a half. Wouldn't do to waste it now, would it?
Fine. One more chance.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights in the pit if I have to. I'll show you. Just you wait.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. That time the Cursebreakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing. Back to work.
Forgive me, Sid. This did not play out as I expected.
Things rarely do these days. But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men who can make the best out of a bad situation. Remember that.
I will, Sid. Thank you.
Bon, bah voilà qui est fait. C'est mis en place. Soupir de Ramu. Oh oui. Ah, oh des récompenses. Il y a plein de choses.
Welcome to the Patron's Whisper. Your benefactors are a generous lot.
Connu comme le nom, le gant de Genji. Qu'est-ce que ça va faire? Et après on va passer à la prochaine amélioration. Waouh, mais ça s'arrête jamais. Quoi, quels sont les nouveaux monstres, si t'as quelque chose? Hop. Est-ce qu'il y a des nouveautés chez toi, mon grand? Hop. Ah, 2 de plus. Le faucheur impitoyable. Oh, quel nom! Donc je pense que ça va être une des... en fait, l'éthérique faucheur, là, qu'on a croisé plusieurs fois. Donc, sans break. Ok. L'orisière, ok. Et c'est du coup près des tours de guet qu'on le trouvera. Yep, on va regarder les gants dans 5 secondes. Ensuite, on a... Oh, le Saint-Dragon Apostat. Ouh! Le Saint-Dragon. Oh! Que des rangs A, encore une fois, mais ça va. Sans break. Tac. Au pied de... Alors. Porte, on va dire, de l'Ordalie. Ok. Au pied de la Macle du Roi, la porte de l'Ordalie est toujours l'entrée vers la capitale impériale. Ok. Oh, il veut me défier. Oh là là. Parfait. 2 nouveaux adversaires d'élite. Et une nouvelle quête secondaire qui a pop. Vous vous foutez de ma gueule? C'est une blague?
There's something about it.
Ah oui, les gants de Genji d'abord. Où est-ce que ça va? Bon, c'est un artefact, donc là. Gants de... Alors, déjà, le galon de l'autour. Augmente 10% le potentiel de piqué tranchant. Augmente de 5% les dégâts infligés à l'ennemi. Gratuit, comme ça. Let's go. Genji's gun. Oh!
Something troubling you?
No more than usual. It's just... Eda's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, I'll let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
The problem is that Eda's due any day now, and I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right then. What exactly are we making?
A good luck charm. But not just any good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One made from the feather of a silver chocobo. There's naught lucky in all the realm, or so we used to say back home anyway. Thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen check with their suppliers, but nothing. I'd try and track one down myself, only...
Only the big day is fast approaching. And that's all you need, a feather.
That or the bird whose horse it's attached to, aye. I was gonna start by asking around with traveling traders plying the northern borders.
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through Martha's. I think I might make that my first port of call. I'll let you know if I find anything.
You're a good friend, Clive. I won't forget this.
Gab qui va finir par être le nouveau père du gamin. Papa par défaut.
What do you want?
Alors, renforcer. Est-ce que j'ai quelque chose? L'écharpe divinatoire que je peux améliorer. Et le bracelet astral. Mais ça, je l'ai déjà... Pas encore de bracelet astral plus 1? Bon, on va le laisser pour le moment, celui-là. Par contre, du coup... Ceinture de l'Ouroboros.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Par défaut. Minerai de sombre acier et un oricalque. Et on va bientôt pouvoir se la forger, cette épée. Hein. Allez, fais-toi plaisir.
Yeah, that should do ya.
Ah.
That it? Fine.
Ok, let's go. Comment on va tout laisser là? En vrai, avant de me pencher sur les quêtes secondaires qu'on a débloquées, on va retourner ici, puisque de toute façon... je me demande même si je peux pas... Ah non, la faille de la dragonnière. On va aller tout de suite se faire les 2 boss, parce qu'ils sont hyper accessibles.
And how might I help the garrison today?
I haven't seen any of those beastly blue...
Voilà, la porte de l'Ordalie, elle est là. La Macle du Roi, donc alors ça va être cette tour-là. Et sinon, ici, il y a une tourelle, donc c'est peut-être là-bas. On verra.
Do be careful.
I will.
On va d'abord commencer par celui qui est vraiment à Shai. À savoir le guerrier dragon. Et alors je vais être honnête avec vous, j'en profite, je bouffe.
All right.
Oh, petite salade que j'ai pris un burger avec une salade composée. Moi, je fais pas les choses à moitié. Quand je commande gros. Ah, le chevalier d'argent. Et mon grand. Mais attendez, avant de le déclencher. Je viens de voir. Alors, je le contourne juste parce que j'ai vu le portail de TP. Parfait, maintenant on peut y aller. Ah, même pas il m'insulte avant parce qu'il veut combattre Sid. Merde, la fourchette, merde.
You're the outlaw! The one who drove his highness to madness! On your knees!
He hasn't heard. And it doesn't look like he's willing to listen.
Only your death will serve!
Nice try.
Par contre, il a la classe avec cette armure là. Ils avaient pas ça comme armure jusqu'à présent les dragons, mais putain, celle-là elle est belle. Petit con. Oh! 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 Mais oui, oui, oui.
It's all your fault!
Oh!
Long live...
Bouh! Tout s'est passé à la perfection.
Damn it. Dion would have been glad to have you back at his side.
Voilà, donc ensuite l'autre il m'a dit machin. Ouais, c'est l'orisière, donc c'est là qu'il faut aller. On va sur TP, ça sera plus rapide.
And how might I help the garrison today?
Petite zone secondaire qu'on n'a pas du tout visitée. En même temps, j'avais pas vraiment besoin d'y aller et j'avoue que visiter des zones pour visiter des zones, c'est pas ma cam. J'ai pas de problème à faire de l'annexe et visiter, mais alors j'aime bien avoir un objectif quand je le fais. Je peux pas papillonner dans le vide, ça m'intéresse pas. Allez. Il doit être proche de la tour de guet qui doit être par là-bas.
Come on.
Et Chicken of Death. Motherfucking Chicken of Death. Run. Pom 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 pom. Bon, elle est où la mort? Ah, elle a l'air d'être là-bas.
Straight home now.
Hanku. Enculé! Oh,
Too slow.
joli.
Nice try. Too slow.
Putain, c'est vénère. Boum, ça c'est fait. T'avais des patterns plutôt stylés, même en reprenant les classiques. Minerai de sombre acier. Bon. Et ben plus qu'un oricalque. Et on aura l'épée. Ah, encore un oricalque et nous serons counter.
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape.
Bon, parfait. Ça fait que du coup, tout ça, c'est réglé. En bas, c'est réglé. J'ai gardé ce continent exprès. On va repasser à la maison. Juste pour voir s'il m'a pas débloqué des nouveaux contrats. Je vais d'abord voir le chocobo. Non, il n'y a rien pour le chocobo.
Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, They as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the bloody outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes, and I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Tri-Unity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall, and there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
Eh ben, gros objectif de quête, hein. Rien à pop ici, c'est parfait. Et bah du coup on va partir... Attends, ça c'est où? La falaise de Hobro. On va partir de chez Martha. Comme ça je pourrais parler avec les marchands, ils pourront me dire où est le chocobo et je pourrais visualiser la route à faire.
Let's hope one of the merchants here has what Gav needs.